Hello guys, it's Mr. Maximo here, Finnish Handu for the European Cricket Network with another match preview for a European Cricket Series match. And for my Tuesday show, I am previewing match 5 of the European Cricket Series, Barcelona. It's the November edition, back by popular demand after a great response to the last tournament there at the Montjuic ground, the former baseball stadium of the Barcelona Olympics 1992. And match 5 is going to see the Bangladesh Kings taking on Falco. And this game will start Tuesday morning, the 10th of November at 7:30 GMT. That's 8:30 in the morning in Central Europe, and it's 1 p.m. in India. It's the first of 4 matches that you can catch on the European Cricket Network, and you can watch on Fancode if you are on the subcontinent. If you're anywhere else in the world, you can watch it on SportsFlick. Head to sportsflickglobal.com for a great deal if you'd like to catch all the European Cricket Series action. And just a reminder, if you don't already, why don't you follow us on social media? Because as I always say, there is so much happening in the world of European cricket, and there's plenty of cricket left to go before 2020 is up in Europe. So why don't you follow us at European Cricket? You can follow me at Mr. Maximo. You can also download the app in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store for your mobile device, and our website, europeancricket.com. It's a great place to go for all the information and up-to-date statistics, standings, and all of the things of that nature to do with our European Cricket Series. And there's plenty of action going on with 4 matches every day in Barcelona. We have 2 weeks of action, which is underway now, and we saw 4 great matches on Monday. So let's have a look at what we can expect on Tuesday and going forward. We've got 4 matches every day. Like we said, there are 10 match days across the 2 weeks, so 40 matches. There's 9 teams taking part. They'll play each other, so 8 matches each. The top 4 will play finals on Finals Friday, which will be the 20th of November. So you can see match day 2 there. We're going to see the Kings against Falco coming to you at 1 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And just a little quirk of the fixtures on day 2, the 4th and final match is 1 hour later, and that is just to accommodate our viewers that might want to watch the Indian Premier League final. So there's plenty of great cricket going on in the world, but you will see nothing like the European Cricket Series, that is for sure. So let's get to my preview then for the Kings versus Falco, and we have some likely lineups for you. Bangladesh Kings will be led by their captain, Moshiur Rahman, with Jubed Mia to be their keeper, while for Falco, Cameron Raja will captain the side. Always Ahmed, the Spanish international, will have the gloves once again. And let's talk a little bit about these 2 teams. Well, the Bangladesh Kings, they were very impressive in the previous European Cricket Series, winning 6 of their 7 group matches before going down to CATALUNYA CC in the semi-final. Now, they faced the same opponents in their first match of this series. And again, they weren't able to come away with a victory as their total of 81 was chased down with 7 balls to spare. Now, look, they are still missing a couple of key players, but I do think they have a lot of talent in the lineup. So they'd love to get on the board in this tournament with a win over Falco in the first match of day 2. Well, speaking of Falco, Falco CC made it all the way to the final of the previous European Cricket Series at Barcelona last month, and they finished as runners-up in that 16-team tournament. In that tournament, they won 6, only lost 3 of their matches, 2 of them against Catalunya CC. So Catalunya CC spoiling a lot of parties for teams over there in Barcelona. But in Falco's first match of this series on Monday against Barcelona Shaheen, look, they posted only 90. They looked gone for all money as their opponents were cruising at 66 runs after 6 overs, and they only needed 25 of the last 4 overs to win. But Falco orchestrated a dramatic turnaround, giving up only 20 runs off those last 24 balls to walk away with a win, 90-86. So it was a bit of a scare for Falco, and it'll be interesting to see how they come out on Tuesday morning. Well, let's have a look at Mr. Maximo's 11 to watch. Hopefully you find this information useful, particularly if you are participating in some fantasy cricket. And for the Kings, I have super highlighted their keeper, Jubed Mia. Now, he's an opening batsman, and he only made 11 in their first match, but he was sensational in the October series last month. He was second in the overall run scoring with 282 runs, including a high score of 87. So after the failure in the first match of this series, I'm sure he'll be very keen to put his stamp of authority on this kind of tournament, and hopefully he can get some big runs at the top of the order. Now, I've also highlighted some other players there for the Bangladesh Kings. Mohammad Azjad Butt. Now, he's joined the Kings from Pak Moncada, and he was influential in getting them up to any kind of a respectable total in their first match. He scored 30 runs off only 9 balls faced in an incredible cameo, batting at number 5. So look out for more fireworks from Azjad Butt. I've also got Hussein Aminul in there, who actually did the business with the ball. He kept his team in the game with 3 for 13 off his 2 overs, and he could be a handy weapon as the tournament progresses with ball in hand as well. Now, I've got an all-rounder in there, a shadow all-rounder. Couldn't quite get him into my 11 to watch today, but I did want to mention him, Siraj Nippo. Now, he captained Rocio CC in the Cartaxu series in Portugal, where he picked up 8 wickets with his left-arm spin, but he's probably most famous for his part in a couple of very dramatic finishes, including the day he became a golden ball hero, picking up a wicket off the tie-breaking delivery against Hueras back on the 23rd of September. Now, he didn't pick up a wicket in the first game of this series, but he did bowl very tightly, giving up only 12 runs off his 2 overs. I do have some all-out bowling options there for the Kings. The captain, Moshia Rahman, he will open the bowling, and he bowled pretty tightly in their first match. He didn't pick up a wicket either, but he only went for 13 runs off his 2 overs. He's actually their leading wicket taker in the Liga Catalana this season, although he hasn't been as destructive in the ECS. I'm sure he'd love a few more wickets. Finally, I've got Mohammad Shafiullah, who is a bowling option that can be thrown up the order. We saw him bat at number 3 on Monday and contributed a very handy 20 runs. For Falco, I have super highlighted once again Awais Ahmed, who will open the batting, the Spanish national team wicketkeeper batsman. And we mentioned in our show yesterday how he was the leading run scorer in the previous European Cricket Series, Barcelona. In that series, he scored 329 runs and was scoring it over to a ball. He was also the leading 6-hitter in the tournament. Now, I did pick him as my star player yesterday. Unfortunately, he didn't fire, scoring only 2. But watch out for him, because when he goes, he will go big. And we saw how destructive he can be on that Montjuic ground in Barcelona. I've also highlighted some other players for Falco. Adil Sawa, the stylish batsman, who was also very impressive in the previous series. He hit plenty of 6s, although he didn't quite come off in the first match either, scoring only 9 of 14 balls, but I do think it's a matter of time until he finds some form. I've got 3 all-rounders in the side today for Falco, starting with the captain, Kamran Raja. He's a key all-rounder for him for the Falco side. He averaged over 50 with the bat in the previous series. Now, he didn't really fire either on day 1, but he can be very destructive. I think he'll be batting in key positions and also taking the new ball. He's probably the fastest bowler they've got. Now, speaking of bowlers, Shahbaz Ahmed, he led Falco's wicket-taking with 12 last month, including 2 hat-tricks, not 1, but 2 hat-tricks. He is the man for the moment, and we talked about his very reasonable economy rate of 8.3 in the last series. Now, he was a bit of a hero again on day 1 of this tournament, because as the opponents were closing in on the total, he took 2 for 8 off his 2 overs to see them home by only 4 runs. So Shahbaz Ahmed always seems to be the money man when the game's on the line. We've got Raymond Ullah in there, the top order batsman. He's very strong down the ground, and he did hold his team's innings together in their first match with 40 not out off only 23 balls to steer them to that total of 90. It turned out to be just enough as they held the Barcelona Shaheen team to 86. Finally, I've got a bowling option there in Kawa Javed, who did pick up a wicket on day 1 of the tournament. Well, let's talk about my prediction. And I think this is a very intriguing contest between the Kings and Falco. I think the Kings will be desperate to open their account before the tournament gets too far in. Of course, there's only 4 spots in the finals for 9 teams, and these teams are quite even. And I think they'll have the good days and their bad days. The Kings couldn't quite bring it on day 1, but they did have some strong opposition in Catalunya CC. It doesn't get much easier on day 2 against Falco, because Catalunya CC and Falco were the finalists in the previous series. Now, Falco, they had a bit of a scare on day 1 against Barcelona Shaheen, who looks bolstered by the inclusion of Kuldeep Lal, and that game really could have gone either way. They did look gone for all money, but I wonder if that will just wake them up. So this is probably a toss-up game, but when I thought about it, I decided to go for Falco. I think the scare might be just what they needed to get themselves in gear and hit the ball running on Tuesday morning. I put the star player again to be Awais Ahmed. I'm doubling down on him. He didn't fire for me on the first morning of the tournament, but he is a quality player, and I think if he can get in for a few balls and perhaps get that 1 or 2 boundaries in the power play, he will be away, and I think he will be the star player in this match. So we hope you enjoy all the European Cricket Series action on ECN. Of course, we do have 4 matches every day. Make sure you check it out on Fancode or Sportsflick, no matter where you're watching around the world. And please like our YouTube channel, ECN European Cricket Network, because there's plenty of highlights, videos, and action on that channel. Of course, these match preview videos, if you enjoy them, please leave a like and a comment. I'll get back to them if I get a chance. But for now, this is Vinny Sandhu, Mr. Maximo for the European Cricket Network, saying enjoy the game. We'll see you next time on European Cricket.